Welcome to the National Indian Gaming Association's The New Normal, the Global Gaming Expo returns to Las Vegas. My name is Ashley Cope and I'm the marketing manager for the Indian Gaming Trade Show and Convention. I just wanted to share a few housekeeping tips before we get started. Everyone is muted by default except for our speakers. If you have any questions during the presentation, please type them into the question or chat box and they'll be brought up at the end. And this session will also be recorded and available on our website. Now, without further ado, I would like to introduce Victor Rocha, Conference Chairman of the National Indian Gaming Association.
Thank you, Ashley. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Victor Rocha. My co-host is Jason Giles, and this is The New Normal. Welcome, everyone. Today's conversation, we're talking with our good friends over at G2e. We're talking to our Meredith Pallante from the Vice President of Global Events for the American Gaming Association, and my very dear friend, Korbi Carrison, the event director for Global Gaming Expo. Ladies, how are you doing? Welcome.
Thank you, Victor. Doing well.
Doing great, Victor. Thanks for having us.
Good morning, everyone. Well, it's morning in California, and I think I know Korbi's in Las Vegas. Where are you at, Meredith?
We're in Washington, D.C., so it's the
good
afternoon.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Jason, good to see you, my friend. How are you doing?
Good to see you. How's it going?
Good. You know, before we go in, we talk about G2e. I guess the big news was last night in California was a big recall election, and Gavin Newsom won. And I think, politically speaking, I think that's a really interesting event, especially for me. All things gaming, how that's going to play into California sports betting. So that should be really interesting. But I digress. Ladies, again, welcome. So yesterday, this week, it's been a really big week for you. I noticed we made the big announcement that G2e is a registration is open. You guys are in the full push. How exciting was it to go?
Really exciting. I mean, it was exciting for the industry to be back together at your event in July. And now going into October, we're really excited to bring everyone back together. We have a lot of great things to talk about at G2e, and we're looking forward to seeing everyone again.
Well, you know, we were just an appetizer waiting for your show. You know what I mean? We kind of got the crowd warmed up for you, so ready for you guys to knock it out of the park. Meredith, how exciting is this to be back in Vegas?
Oh, we're ready to go. You know, the countdown is on, and we're just, you know, Korbi and I, we just got off a call. So, you know, we're in constant communication, making the wheels spin here. And the team at AGA we're doing during G2e. I can say that being out in Vegas for NIGA was exciting for me as my first trip. Post-pandemic, post-baby. So I'm was excited to get out there and to be in Vegas, and very much looking forward to heading back, seeing my colleagues and seeing the industry.
Yeah. So Meredith, what is your role with again, we announced you're the Vice President of Global Events. What does that entail?
Sure. So AGA Association, American Gaming Association, where we represent our members in the gaming universe and sphere here in the United States. And we have both supplier and operator members and also partners throughout gaming. You know, we are really, you know, we're driving the things that matter for our members. We have a lot of great staff that are working on things like research. Responsibility is a huge part of what we do. Advocacy for our groups and things we need to do here in DC. And then events, which is where I take over. And truly, it's been a very interesting time for events, as you know, Victor and Korbi, Jason, where we did a lot of virtual events, obviously, during the pandemic. And then we're able to kind of start dipping our toes in hybrid events with our board. But G2e will really be our first big in-person event, and we have a number of things going on during G2e to convene our members, convene our special groups, and obviously to welcome the industry back together and really just really reunite everyone. That's what we're focused on. We're focused on showing that gaming is back. We were very integral in helping to make sure that gaming received what it needed during the COVID shutdowns, and we're glad to see the rebound, and we're glad to be back here in Vegas in a few short weeks to just, get back to business. So
Well-
I lead the events, and G2e being our largest, I work hand in hand with Korbi. We have very strong partnership with Reed Exhibitions and AGA, many years partnership that just gets better with time. And, we work hand in hand on all things G2e. And then also I do everything else that has to do with events at AGA.
Well, and also, the AGA works hand in hand with the National Indian Gaming Association too. Our, if anything, our relationship has deepened during the pandemic, and working together during the CARES Act and for the American Rescue Plan and stuff like that. Am I correct, Jason?
Yes, 100%.
Yeah, I didn't want. I hope I'm not going off the reservation. I can say that because I'm Native American.
Yes, you are right. And our CEO Bill Miller was pulled up on stage next to Ernie Stevens, and they've done a lot of great conversations together, and I have a great relationship. So our tribal members are just a huge part of what we do and how we work on their behalf at the AGA. I'm excited to try to get out there and meet them in person and hit the road a bit now that things are opening it back up to really see that section of our industry.
Right. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you so much. And go ahead, Jason.
Well, can you guys touch on some of the requirements? Because at least from our membership, especially recently, I was at the Oklahoma Indian Gaming Association and Washington Indian Gaming Association regional conferences. And a lot of people are planning to come to G2e, but it was weird. A lot of people are calling us and asking me like the vaccine mandate, like what do they have to show? One person said, I'll probably only have my first shot by the time I get there. Will that be good enough? I mean, things like that. Can you go through some of those things just real quick? I think it's good for Victor and I to know, certainly Victor, and because he's got the website, just some of those requirements for attendees.
Yeah, I'm happy to take that one. And it's a question, Jason, that's on everyone's mind. So I'm glad you brought it up because it is really important to communicate this in advance to everyone who is coming to G2e. G2e is a vaccine verified show, which means you will need to show that you have been vaccinated. You'll have to show proof of vaccination in order to come into the expo hall, in order to attend the keynotes, any of the education, in order to attend meetings that are within the G2e space. You will need to verify vaccination. And what that means is that you have been vaccinated with at least one shot that is a vaccine that's been approved by the CDC or the WHO. So you go to our website, globalgamingexpo.com, there's a special health and safety section of the website. You can click on the FAQs. It will list the 7 vaccines that are accepted. And keep watching that website because as we have further clarifications on what our process will be on the verification, it will all be there. Now, I can tell you right now, we are working through the final stages of approval on what this process will be. There will be an area for people to go and verify their vaccines before they enter the space. It will be large so people can spread out and be comfortable. There will be plenty of workers staffing that, and we'll have a couple of different ways that people can verify their vaccine. Number one is an electronic means, and I'm not going to get into the names of an app to download or anything right now because we want to make sure that adequate instructions are given, but there are really simple apps that can be used that you upload your information into, and then you can kind of go through a fast pass line where you can get verified very quickly, get a wristband, and you're on your way. For those who don't have both of their vaccines, if that's the route that a person has chosen for their vaccination, the vaccine card works just fine along with your ID. It's just that's a line that we know is a little more of a manual verification, and we're making considerations for that. So same thing, you arrive, you get online in the building, You get verified, you get your wristband, and it's a wristband that stays on your wrist for the full event of G2E. You do this verification once and you're good. Let's take off your wristband, then you have to go through it again. But we're encouraging people, come early, come the day before you need to be there. Get your verification done, pick up your badge in advance. We don't want anyone to be in a line any longer than they need to be. We know that on Monday, when the education sessions open, it's a really popular time for people to come get their badge. Allow for some extra time. If you're in town on Sunday, come down on Sunday and get yourself verified. All of that process, all of the timing, that will be publicized on the website, in email. Everyone who's pre-registered for G2E will get that information in advance. Be safe, we want to be easy, and have a really user-friendly process for that verification.
Wow, that's a lot. Korbi, one of the things that I think you guys are going into is the fact, I've been to like 3 public events in the last 3 weeks, I think, and all of them have been vaccination, have been mandatory. And so, when you first do it, you're a little nervous, and then, after by the 3rd time, you're like, okay, you're wearing your mask, but you have your vaccination card. I have a concert coming up, and this particular one, you go to their website and they recommend a specific app, a little Q code, and then you're able to use that to go through too. And I think by the time your show comes, which is coming up very quick, by the way, I think people will become more used to this, and it's just part of the new normal, the way we're doing business, and the way, we have to keep ourselves safe. We have to keep our visitors and our vendors safe. And I think this is part of the expectation of good health and safety practices, So congratulations on you guys. I hope you're not nervous. I think I'm very proud of you guys. I think it's very brave. It's the right thing to do. And again, in the new normal going forward, this pandemic is not going away. It isn't just we're going to wake up one day and it's gone. This is how we have to do things to do business going forward. So, I think the expectations are very high for a successful event. And I think you guys are doing a phenomenal job, and congratulations. And I'm sure you're a little nervous, but, in fair disclosure, Korbi and I are very, very close, very dear friends. We produce conferences together and stuff, and we work together every year. So, I am one of her biggest fans and know how hard she works, and no stone is left unturned and no detail is too small for her. So congratulations, Korbi. Sorry, there's a little love fest right there, Korbi. You okay?
Thanks, Victor. I just want to add to that. We do get feedback on when we make a decision, when we announce it, and the feedback has been really great and very supportive of this decision to be a verified vaccine show. People want to feel comfortable, and you're right, Victor. The first time you go to an event where you have to show your proof of vaccination, it feels a little unusual. It's not what we're used to, but what are we used to? We're used to doing a lot of Zoom calls lately, and the fact of the matter is there's no substitute for doing business face-to-face. And we are so happy to be able to be doing that in Las Vegas this year. We wanted to make this as safe as we possibly can, make it a good experience for everyone who's come to Las Vegas to do business. And we're getting the support from the attendees and the exhibitors on this. So it's so important. Thanks for supporting us on that, and to help get the word out like you are today.
Oh, absolutely. So Jason, pretty exciting, right?
Well, yeah. So does that mean there will or will not be a mask mandate? Will you have to be masked at the convention center?
The rule in Nevada is indoor spaces, you need to wear a mask.
Oh, okay.
Unless there's something that changes along the way.
Okay.
Or we're having discussions with AGA every day. We're great partners in this show. And at this moment, there's a mask mandate in place.
Okay. Yeah, that's, the mask mandate hit our show on the last day. We were there. And I can tell you, this is I think that's the safe way to go, because unfortunately at our show, you can't ever prove when the person caught COVID, but we had a COVID rapid testing site there, and they had about 20% positives. Over 1,000 people came and got tested on the trade show floor there at Caesars Forum. So, that's a pretty, and percent of those people said they were vaccinated. So that's a pretty big breakthrough rate. And obviously we didn't have masks most of that week. And the good thing was that the testers said a lot of them, when they were told they were positive, they were shocked, and they went back to their rooms, and they just, sort of, and waited till they didn't have any more. I don't know what, they went home. But one of the things that our vendors, conducting the business in the masks. Now, I've been to a show already where it was mandatory. It really wasn't that big of a deal, to be honest. And plus it helped. It was like 60 degrees in Seattle. So it was kind of cold, and it was nice having a mask on when you're out at a outdoor facility and everything. But I really think that that's the way to go. And our experience there in Las Vegas in July, when it was much hotter, hopefully you'll avoid all of that. We're really looking forward to this. We're going to push it for Indian country to come out. I can tell you the folks in Washington and Oklahoma all said they plan to attend. And, is there a overarching theme this year for the show, or are you going to focus on any one particular subject for the show?
Yeah, I think the overarching theme is just reuniting the industry for this year, and also to highlight the innovations. I mean, a lot has happened, while we've been away. Innovation has happened with our suppliers. Our operators have had to change the way that they do business in the new normal, especially our tribal members. And so we're going to have a lot of great education around this in the education program. Our education program, which Victor is a great partner with us on, was going to focus on research, regulation, responsibility, finance and investment, the customer experience, tribal government and gaming, of course, the future of gaming, and the business of sports betting, as well as some sessions around the global outlook that we'll have on demand for those who might not be able to attend internationally this year based on travel restrictions. So, we're going to cover a lot. And we just actually announced our keynotes, which I believe came out late last week, which we're very excited about, that hit on a lot of this stuff and a bit more. We'll be welcoming, of course, Bill Miller will give a state of the industry on Tuesday morning. We'll have a really exciting keynote after him with Governor Steve Sisolak and Congresswoman Dina Titus from Nevada. So really, really great updates from both of them about how they're, working through the new normal in their state and how they're delivering for gaming and how that impacts their state. And then in the afternoon on Tuesday, we're going to have a really great panel around diversity, equity, inclusion with global business leaders. We'll have global business leaders from MG. Kind of discussing how gaming companies can better promote diversity at all levels and better serve customers, employees, and their communities, which I think is a really important conversation. A lot has happened in our country and in the world. And, it's time for gaming to also have this conversation on our main stage. And then on Wednesday, we're going to have 3 global leaders from the take the stage, talking to Contessa Brewer from CNBC. We'll have Matt Maddox of Wynn Resorts. We'll have Bill Hornbuckle with MGM, and we'll have Jim Allen with Hard Rock Seminole Gaming. So really exciting keynote Wednesday morning, and one not to miss for sure.
Wow, Victor, we can't even, Jim Allen doesn't take our calls anymore.
Jim who?
Yeah, exactly. But no, that's great. That's great.
We're thrilled. We're thrilled to be able to announce it. There was a lot, that had to come together before we were able to get this news out the door, obviously, with, trying to have the safest show we can. We had to put that first. And now we can start to talk about the fun stuff. Really.
Well, also the announcement yesterday was the Hall of Fame announcements. Can you tell us a little bit about those? And personally, I'm excited. I know a couple people on the list very, very well.
Yes, good. We're really thrilled to have just a great group of honorees. I will say, we thought a lot about it, and truly, we didn't have a Hall of Fame in 2020. And as the selection committee was convening on this, it felt like we don't want COVID to put a stamp on the history book. We have to have a class of 2020. We're going to do it this year. So here we are with 6 great honorees. The class of 2020, James Maida, President and CEO of Gaming Laboratories International, Jeffrey Silver, Gaming and Administrative Law Counsel for Dickerson Wright, and Dr. Mark Yosoloff, who's retired Chairman, CEO of Shufflemaster, and the founder of the UNLV Center for Gaming Innovation. And then the class of 2021, we have Jeremy M. Jacobs, the Chairman of Delaware North. We have Jim Shore, the General Counsel of the Seminole Tribe of Florida, and we have Knut Knudsen, the Vice President of Global Business Development and Tribal Ambassador for IGT. So really great group of individuals that we can't wait to honor on Tuesday evening in a special ceremony after G2e.
Well, I thought that was very special that you guys did announce that you didn't forget the 2020, and it was my dear friend James Maida and Knut Knudsen, who's also my friend and mentor since the day I snuck in the side door of the industry. So very excited. I know Knut and James are both honored by these amazing the fact that they're in the Hall of Fame, which is just incredible. About the virtual component, that was one thing, if anything, we learned about the pandemic is that the Zoom is there, and I think we're all kind of zoomed out, but it's definitely here to stay. And we, in our role, we didn't do any Zooming or any broadcasting, but can you tell us a little bit about this, Korbi?
Yeah, a couple of different components on the virtual. We learned a lot when we had a virtual G2e, and we learned our entire audience. And we have a great audience of folks who are able to travel around North America, but also those who are outside of North America who aren't able to come. So hopefully this extension of a virtual pass, and I'll ask Meredith to provide a little information on everything that's going to be included in there. We're hoping that gives people the opportunity not just to connect on an education point of view, and also, by the way, something that will be available on demand later. But there are some opportunities for meetings to happen within the platform. So you register for G2e, you enter your information about who you are, what you're interested in, and the exhibitors on their side, those who are going to be at G2e, they do the same thing. So they say what their company is, what they do. They can enter information on their company, and then the connection can happen directly between individuals, between attendees, exhibitors. They can meet within the platform, and not necessarily a replacement for the trade show, but it's another connection point for those who aren't able to make it to the show. Now, another important part is what's happening, like Meredith had expressed about keynotes, and I'll let her go into a little more detail about the virtual portion of that.
Yeah, the keynotes will be live streamed, so everyone will be able who's in our virtual platform will be able to see those live as they're happening. And then we'll have several, quite a bit of our sessions, our concurrent sessions will be live streamed as well, which, is make sure that those who really can't be there in person, maybe for different reasons and perhaps even travel reasons, they can still experience G2e education. They can still watch our keynotes. It was really important for us not to exclude anyone here, and to make sure there was an option for those who weren't able to attend this year that was robust.
Yeah, I know they're going to be streaming Chairman Ramirez from San Manuel. I know that's going to be one of your sessions, but I thought, that I think that's very important that we do reach out to those that can't make it for whatever reasons. And I think it's very important, doing your virtual show last year was important, but G2E has always been an important show in everyone's calendar. So, we're all excited to get back into doing business. And so I think it's very obvious that you guys have done everything possible and everything that you're supposed to do. But more importantly, it's a place we can get back and do business. And, I'm personally excited about it. So, so what is going to be different than previous years, Korbi? What are we looking at here?
Well, of course, the first thing that you're going to experience that's different is that vaccine checkpoint. Beyond that, you're going to see a lot of the same reasons why you always came to G2E in the first place. The expo hall floor is going to continue to be a highlight of G2E. And it may be a little bit smaller, but that doesn't mean that our exhibitors are not really going to bring their A game. I've been talking to a lot of them, just trying to hear what kind of innovations are you working on. And there's a lot that they want to keep kind of close to the vest and debut at G2E. That stuff, though, that they're sharing is really some groundbreaking new innovation. It's I've been in the industry for more than 20 years. A lot of it is stuff that I had never imagined, that I can't wait to go see it myself on the expo hall floor at G2E. So that is going to be right in line with the things that you've always expected at G2E.
Meredith?
A lot of kind of different things. We're trying to think outside the box a little bit. We're kind of about the placement of certain things and where they are on the show floor, including our NIGA lounge will be as well, and kind of what cool things it'll be near, which will be new and different. There's going to be some stuff happening in our innovation lab that will be different and will be exciting. Korbi, I don't know if I can talk about that yet. I don't know if we've announced it.
I think you can.
Okay, we're doing a pitch competition. Thank you. Sharp Alpha is putting together a pitch competition for prizes, investment. So that will be happening Wednesday afternoon in the Innovation Lounge. And we're really, Innovation Lab, we're really excited to kind of showcase some startups, see what has been happening while everyone's been shut down. And hopefully have some of them get some pretty big investments from investors that will be judging the competition. So definitely check that out. Stop by the Innovation Lab for more TED Talk style sessions that are open to everyone. We're going to do actually something on Monday, which is just an education day on Monday that is called G2e Connects. It will be in the keynote room, so our larger room, which is now off the trade show floor for everyone. It's going to be in in the Venetian ballrooms, which is more closer to where the education was before. This keynote will really be about sitting down with each other, talking about the issues that you're facing in your business, in your career. Having really facilitated conversations, deep diving into questions, talking to one another, not on a Zoom call, talking to each other in person, sharing best practices. We'll set up the room so that you can kind of choose what you want to talk about. It's kind of a choose your own adventure, meet new people, and then we'll break into a networking reception with the bars will roll in and everyone can really, celebrate. So that's actually going to be in the afternoon on Monday, which I think it'll be a bit later. I think it's 3 p.m. And that's so that those who are we know that we're going to have a lot of people driving in. We understand that, people might not be ready to get on a plane yet. So, come in Monday morning even, and then come into G2e Connect, sit down, talk to each other, solve some problems you've been wanting to solve, and have a drink and see your people, or soda or coffee. And, we'll all be together to, just reconnect, like I mentioned before, reunite, reconnect. So a few new exciting things are happening throughout G2E, but as Korbi mentioned, we know that the major draw will be that show floor opening Tuesday, right after our keynote.
Well, I think, again, this is called G2e Connect, and it's going to be on Monday, right?
Monday, yeah, Monday at 3 p.m.
At 3 p.m. Oh, well, that's great. Well, you know, that's the whole point, you know, to create these opportunities to do business. So how are you guys approaching the under talked about event of sports betting? You know, not enough people are really discussing it. It's kind of flying underneath the radar, as my worst facetiousness.
Sports betting content. It's part of our education program, and Meredith maybe can get a little more detail on that, and some surprises coming a little bit later related to sports betting. But I mean, yeah, it's been such a hot topic since 2018 when the world changed for all of us, right? It's got to be something that we talk about, and the pickup. I mean, AGA does an amazing job at keeping track of what's going on in the world of sports betting in the US. So they are taking the lead on producing some really great content around sports betting in the education program.
Yeah, we'll have some sessions around in-play wagering, you know, 3 years post-PASPA, you know, where is the US market headed?
California.
Yeah, I think that there's something around California. And Victor,
Sure.
please talk about what you're putting together
Yeah,
in
Victor.
Tribal as I'm scrolling through our list.
Oh no, I know.
Trying to figure all that in.
I could have been setting myself up for this one. No, but I didn't.
Please.
Actually, you know, in California, we will be talking about California sports betting with Chairman McCarroll, and we actually got Richard Schutz who's going to be moderating, which will be really fun because if anybody knows, Richard has a really great take on things, and as the California gaming regulator, he has even more unique view of that. That's definitely one of it. And obviously, you guys are going to be doing the fireside chat with Chairman Ramirez for San Manuel, which is really exciting. So yeah, obviously, you know, sports betting is what everybody's talking. It's what's driving the train right now. And you know, I've looked, and you guys have a really strong agenda. So I think the industry. I can't wait to hear what your special surprises are, though. So, you know, you guys always do
more things to be announced as we're, you know, buttoning up some stuff. Obviously, Victor, I feel like you could probably teach us. You just went through it. Trying to plan something in a pandemic is just more complicated.
Yeah, I learned don't do press conferences before you drink your first cup of coffee. That's one of the things that I learned. Is it's very important to have that cup of coffee.
So,
yeah, go ahead, Jason.
Yeah, Korbi, or whoever might be able to answer this for the Hall of Fame induction. That's a ceremony on Tuesday night, and how can attendees? Do you have to buy tickets for that?
I wish
okay.
we, you know, it's actually it's pretty intimate this year because of COVID, and you know, just because of some of the honorees we have to make sure that it's you know, just more of a smaller ceremony for this one. Some of the people who are coming are, you know, obviously, you know, so important, and you know, their families will be there, and we just really felt like this would probably be more of a closed door event. But you know, it's definitely something we talk about a lot here at AGA. You know, would it be something that eventually we could do at G2e that would be more of open? So, you know, again, navigating the COVID landscape, you know, how do we put on these events, keep people safe? You know, it's really a hard thing to maneuver, but gosh, I'm looking forward to a day when we can throw a big blowout party without masks on, and you know, and really celebrate that way.
I asked that because one of your inductees this year is Knut Knutson, who worked in Indian gaming, you know, starting in South Dakota with Sodak and all the way through the years, and he's been an invaluable partner for National Indian Gaming Association. So all the tribes and our board, everybody knows him. So that's, been getting a lot of questions about that, but we want to honor Knut appropriately. I think there'll be another shot at the apple for just Indian country, probably at our mid-year at Victor's tribe in middle of November. So, but that's good to know because that is the safe way to go. And, hey, Canute wouldn't mind me saying this, but, he looks old, but he's he's been around and we want to keep him safe and have him continue on with his loving wife. He'll retire and live his life out in Reno, but nope, he won't. Okay.
Nobody knew to retire.
Okay.
Nobody. He talks about it, and nobody wants him to retire. And you bring up an important topic, which is about networking. You know what I mean? And that's what these are. And Meredith, you talk about G2e Connect, and what other opportunities do you have people to network here?
It's a really great question, Victor. I mean, I will say, I think that as we're thinking through, how first and foremost to put on a really successful business experience, the networking piece is important. Korbi, I know that we're doing the networking reception Monday happy hour time, I'll say 4 p.m., 6:30 for everyone. Anyone who has a G2e badge can come, and that's typically only open to those with education badges. So we want to make sure that that's widely spread. Arrive in Vegas on Monday, come to G2e Connects, come to the networking reception. Above and beyond that, Korbi, a lot of our exhibitors really spend a lot of time curating some really good networking events, and G2e just doesn't want to step on their toes. We want to make sure that our exhibitors have this time to host their customers, to do their business. And a lot of that is social after the show. So G2e doesn't do a lot else formally around networking, just because we want to make sure that our exhibitors have that opportunity. And I do know some of them are planning some pretty cool stuff. So I would imagine that those announcements will start to be made soon. Korbi, is there anything I'm missing?
You're right, Meredith. And along with that, to create a little more informal networking opportunities, I think you'll see on the expo hall floor, maybe a few areas that we haven't had before, where it's just an opportunity to sit down with people, whether it's a food court or just, a spot that you find a open table and chairs. We are encouraging people to connect to each other and to make meaningful relationships. So that's something that's always happened at G2e. You never know who you're gonna run into in the lobby. Of course, when you're in the lobby and you've got your mask on, like we'll have at G2e, you may need an extra moment to reconnect with somebody, but it's going to happen, and it's gonna be just great to be together again, to reconnect with your peers, with your colleagues, whether it's in the expo hall, in the conference sessions, just in the lobby, walking around, anywhere in town. And I mean, Meredith, you're absolutely right. These exhibitors are making some pretty special plans to reconnect with their customers too. So it's a really exciting time.
I did forget to mention that new this year for AGA members, which I know we have quite a few tribal members and other members who are listening here, we're going to have an AGA member lounge this year for the first time. Really a space dedicated in the meeting space for our members to relax. There'll be private meeting space in there that members can reserve. Have a quick coffee, have some water, put your feet up for a moment, or take a meeting. It's really a space for our members. So please come by, and you can also pick up your badge there. So, if you get out of your vaccine verification line, you can head straight to the AGA member lounge, check in with your AGA member company, and you can pick up your badge there too. So encourage AGA member companies to come there.
Yeah. I think the more that I hear about the mandatory vaccination, the more I really like it. I think creating a safe space for people to do business, I think this is the very fundamental, is just, having everybody psychologically feel that they're in a place where they can do business and they have their mind into it. So I really applaud you guys. I think you've done an amazing job. We're all really, really looking forward to the show. Jason, what else we got, brother? What else we got here?
I think, again, talking about timing, kicking off the fall with G2e is a really great event here. It's going to lead us right through the fall legislative agenda in Congress. and right up to Christmas, which is very important. And I will say, you know, we've experienced some cancellations in Indian country for some fall conferences, and I'm glad that you guys are able to pull this off with the vaccine mandate. And I think it really has a chance. I have not heard of another conference yet, Victor, where vaccine mandate is going to be in place. So I'll be really interested to see how this goes. It sounds like you've got everything lined up, and why should it be any different than, you know, showing your ID at a club or you know, all the hassles you have to go through just to get on a plane. I mean, this should be pretty simple if you ask me, and we're looking forward to it, and we'll get the information out there for sure. And I guess the last one at the Sands Convention Center, everything will be relatively the same. You can come from Palazzo or Venetian and down that hallway, and you'll have the staff there. Everything will, no new surprises there or anything.
No surprises there. We need to, of course, make sure that there's plenty of people who are there to answer questions if anybody has questions. But I mean, Jason, I'm glad you brought up flying on an airplane. This is going to be a really similar experience. We're all used to what you need to do to get through TSA to go on a plane. It's really similar. Right. And it's providing that level of comfort. But the experience that you're going to have at the venue is very much the same. You can come in from the casino, you can come in from the taxi drop off down below if that's your transportation method. We're trying to make it as streamlined and easy as possible for everybody. And I mean, you're right. We're all earning that MBA in pandemic event management. It's the degree that we never wanted. But we're all earning it together, and people who are coming to the events are learning to do it the different way too. But really, we're doing it to provide the safest possible environment, and we're doing it because people want to be together, to be doing the business together again, and to be connecting with each other again. This industry has people with deep relationships in it, and they're all really wanting to come on down and reconnect again.
Well, you know, I got in a lot of trouble because when we had our conference, I made vaccines re-mandatory, and for us it was still a moving target, which made it a lot of nerve-wracking. I think you guys might have an advantage because that it is, you know, we are going into this thing. We know that you have to be vaccinated, you know, you have to wear a mask. And we also know all our friends are going to be there. This is a place we're going to do business. And I think that's going to be really important. And I predict you're going to have a very successful event as usual. Although, you know, this has been very difficult, just like we had, Korbi, you know, and Meredith. You know, it's very nerve-wracking going into these things because you just don't know. And there are things are subject to change at the last minute, you know what I mean? So I think you guys have created a wonderful event. I know how nerve-wracking it is that being in that position myself, and still in that position, by the way. You know, we're going to be making our announcements after your show for NIGA's trade show too. So, you know, we're jumping right back in there, and hopefully things will calm down and stuff. You know, my optimism is taking a beating in the last year, you know, so I think, yeah.
That you're still the optimistic person that you've always been.
Well, you know, I wish this thing would go away and we could just go back to doing business. But in the meantime, I think this is the new normal. You know what I mean? And it's things that we're going to have to be dealing with, and the questions we have to ask ourselves going down the road, you know, but vaccines and stuff like that. And so I know that, hey, Korbi, is there anything else you want to tell us about? What else am I missing here?
You know, I think we've hit on all the important points, but I just really want to underscore how much we're looking forward to being together in the industry together and doing the business that we always do successfully when we're together at events like G2e. I can't wait to see my friends again and can't wait to get the show on the road.
Yep.
I
Same
echo
here.
that, Korbi. 100% echo that. And, AGA team will be out in full force. We're sending our whole staff. We are so excited to see our members and our customers and the customers of G2E who have been coming for a very long time. We have a lot of new faces at AGA. So a lot of us will be meeting you for the first time. And we're just grateful to have the opportunity to gather together in person. And in the things will change every day. We have promised to be transparent. We have promised to be communicative. And if anyone has any questions or feels, wants to raise anything to us, Korbi and I remain open. We check our email, we answer our phones, and, we're here to support you in your decisions as you're thinking about coming to the show, and whatever we can do to provide some more clarity or comfort, please reach out. We're excited to host you. And we think we've done, as much as we know that we can put into this show to make it really a business, just a setting to do really good business, and a setting that we hope people will feel really comfortable gathering together in.
Well, and one of the other things that just came across my mind right now is that Vegas is even more open than it was before. When we were there, Love wasn't showing. A lot of the theaters weren't fully open. I think more of the restaurants are open now, so we're going more into more of a normal Vegas than what we had. I think O was playing, but Love wasn't when we were there.
Mm-hmm.
So, and stuff like that too. So also having Vegas back opening, and I think getting Governor Sisolak was a really big score too. I think that's be wonderful to hear what he has to say. So Jason, I think we're very close to wrapping it up, my friend. This is going to be exciting. We will be there, obviously.
Right.
And we are vaccinated and masked and vaxxed, and we will be there.
And look, thank you for providing, National Indian Gaming Association with a generous booth space. We're going to be holding our tribal leaders reception. We'll have the information for that, everybody, to get that out there. It'll most likely be on Tuesday afternoon, but we're still moving it around. We want to make sure we have maximum participation. So, but we're looking forward to it, and we'll see you on the floor there.
Yeah, and also the NIGC will be there also. So everyone in Indian country will be there in force. And I think like Jason said, the tribes that we've spoken with in Oklahoma or the tribes spoken in Washington, everyone's really excited to be there also. So you get a really positive response in Indian country. So that should be exciting for you guys too. So again, I would like to thank our guests, Meredith Pallante from the American Gaming Association, and my dear friend Korbi Carrison from Reed and G2E. Ladies, thank you so much. It's going to be an exciting show. It's coming up very, very quick, so to be here before you know it. And so we're excited to see you. And again, thank you. Yes, we thank everyone too. So we'll see you guys next week. Thanks a lot. Bye.
We can't wait to see you in Las Vegas.
Take care. See you guys. Thank you.
Bye.